Hi moms, welcome back to Infinite Mamabilities. I'm here again with a video for or on or about Babywise. If you're new to my channel and you found me because of Babywise, I have been summarizing every single chapter for you. I know it's hard to have the luxury of time to read sometimes, and I know it's also hard right now. We're in quarantine. A lot of people don't have access to the book. So if you just don't feel like reading, then listen to my summaries. It doesn't tell you absolutely everything, obviously, but I hope it will help you get a gist of what this book is about and how it can help you and baby be happier and healthier. Before I move on though, I'm shooting on my phone, and it's an old iPhone 6, and I just honestly don't have time to set up my camera and stuff. My kids are just over there. I put a movie on for them. The light is about to go away because it's like 5 o'clock, so the sun's gonna set in a little while. Anyway, so all that's important is that you hear my voice and what I'm gonna say. So if you just wanna close the screen and listen to what I'm gonna say, that's good, because I'm not wearing makeup either. Anyway, we're getting into chapter 5, and it is called Managing Your Baby's Day. We are finally getting into schedules. I know this is something you've been waiting for, or something that I personally waited for when I first got into Babywise. And I hope that's not bothering you. Just listen to my voice. Focus. Anyway, Managing Your Baby's Day. This is chapter 5. I'm not going to cover absolutely everything. I said this in the last chapter too, because they're just so darn long and there's so much juicy information packed into it. So I can't do every single thing, but I will promise to tell you the highlights of it. And some of the stuff I'm not going to be talking about today in this video are the merges. Merges are basically how the schedules of our babies change as they grow, as they develop more. Obviously, a 2-week-old baby will have a different schedule from a 6-week-old baby, a 6-month-old baby. And so as those schedules change, there are merges that are happening as they get older. So I'm not going to talk about that, but don't you worry, because if you follow me on Instagram, I do have highlights up there. Infinite Mamabilities is my Instagram handle, and I do have highlights up there of stories of schedules, sample schedules for babies from 0 to 1 year old, I believe. So I think I cover about every month, if I'm not mistaken, but you can follow me over there and check out those sample schedules just to have an outline or a guide of how you can hopefully start or begin building and creating a schedule for your baby. Okay, so that's out of the way. I will go ahead and start with chapter 5 summary, Managing Your Baby's Day. I'm just going to talk about 3 highlights that I thought were most important of this chapter. And number 1 is flexibility. If you've been doing Babywise, or if you just got into it, or if you're researching still, you've probably seen that there are a lot of things on the internet and opinions of moms that Babywise is evil. They call it pure evil. They say that it causes failure to thrive. And I just want to let you know, I have 3 daughters, now 7, 5, and 3, who are very healthy and who were very healthy as infants as well. None of them had failure to thrive. None of them starved to death. And I would like to say they're pretty happy, and they had a healthy infant stage. So I think what people might think about Babywise is that because there's a schedule, it just sounds so strict and so rigid. I say this in about every video that I upload about Babywise, but there is nowhere in the book that says do not feed baby when they're hungry. Actually, it's very clear in the book. If you read the whole thing as a whole, it's very clear that it says that hunger cues will always trump over the time. So if you see that your baby is hungry, always, no matter what, doesn't matter what time it is, feed them. So there is no harsh or rigid schedule that is suggested in this book, but there is a lot of flexibility. Before, it says here on page 87, it says the root word flexible means the ability to bend or be pliable. To think of a flexible item, think of something with a particular shape that can bend or be pulled and then return to its original shape. Returning to its original shape is perhaps the most critical element of flexibility. So what this is saying is flexible being flexible is really important, and you can do that. What's important though is that there is an original shape that baby can go back to. So if you're always flexible, like, oh, it's okay, today I'll feed them at this time, tomorrow I'll feed them this time, today I'll do a 2.5 hour schedule, tomorrow I'll do a 4 hour schedule. You can do that on certain days, but if you do that consistently without first establishing an original shape, it will be really hard for baby to get accustomed, and for the metabolism to be trained to get hungry at this time and this time and this and that. So what's important to know is there's a lot of flexibility in Babywise, but before that flexibility comes in, there must first be an original shape. So with that being said, it doesn't say this in the book, but I suggest committing at least 2 weeks to being home. Like, you've got to stay home and just train your baby that way. I understand that that's not doable for everybody, and that is okay. And you can train your baby, you know, if you're doing your morning jog or something, you can have baby sleep there and use a schedule for those kinds of things. But if you are talking about going full on with this training process, give it at least 2 weeks so that you can commit to it, be home, baby will be comfortable in a certain surrounding and atmosphere. So that will help bring and establish an original shape for baby. The second thing I want to talk about is individuality, and this word is directly from the book. It talks about how each baby is different. The merges of each baby will happen at different times. The way they happen will be different. Sometimes it will just be easy, like all of a sudden you drop one feeding, you're back, you have one new feeding time. Sometimes it will be gradual, and it will really depend on your baby, and that is okay. Don't go online and look at all these perfect schedules and expect yours to be that way, because it's not gonna happen. I promise you that. All of our babies are different. Our schedules and Babywise and managing your baby's day is all about helping us and helping our babies to be happier and healthier, not to be perfect. Again, don't expect perfection. Just do what's best for you and for your baby. I have a friend, a very close friend, who sleep trained her baby with Babywise as well, and she never really, not never, but there was never a consistent, like, 1 month or 2 months where baby was taking long naps. It would just jump here and there, and that is okay. That became their new normal. You know, at first, of course, she was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Why is it like this? Da, 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 da. And even me, because I hadn't experienced that before. But then as time went on, she was like, well, this is our normal, and it works for us. She sleeps well at night, she gets enough sleep within the whole day, and that's what's important. Just count the whole number of sleep the whole hours of sleep that they should be getting, and don't compare your baby to others, because every single one will be different. Again, remember, this is to help you and baby. This is not to be perfect or reach a certain goal, but it's something to serve you. It's a tool to serve you, your baby, and your entire family. And which brings me to my last point, number 3, think of others. It's from part of the book that talks about flexibility in certain circumstances. For example, if you go to, you know, in the States, you can go to church and leave your baby in the nursery or something and leave a bottle and that'll be fine. Or, you know, if you're here and you leave them at daycare or whatever it is, and things don't have to be perfect all the time. Fairly enough, you know, days will be particularly predictable and all of that good stuff, but think of others in certain situations. If your parents are staying with you for a week or 2 and they want extra time with baby, like, you don't have to be like, no, it is her time to sleep and you should understand that this is healthy for her, blah, blah. Like, it's okay. If you're out and you have somewhere to be and baby's not sleeping at the nap time and you're like, they're struggling and you can't even enjoy anymore because you're just struggling trying to get baby asleep for her nap time, guilty. Okay, this is what I'm telling you. It's okay. It's okay to be flexible. Think of others. You know, I remember doing that when we were in Baguio and my husband didn't have fun because I wasn't having fun because I was just stressed that my baby wasn't sleeping at the right time. So it wasn't fun. Think of others. Think of your other kids. Think of your the people you're with and people who are with you, and it's okay. Again, as long as baby has that original shape to go back to, just be fine with whatever, you know. Take full joy in each moment you're in. it's always relationship over routine. That will always be applicable, relationship over routine. So don't worry about that stuff. Don't be too strict. Don't be too much of a hyper scheduler, so they say. And is there anything else? I think that's pretty much it. I hope that, no, sorry, I'm gonna end with this. It says here on page 87, parent-directed feeding, which basically means having a schedule for your baby, and not something you strictly stick to, but guiding your baby and training their metabolism. Parent-directed feeding as a 24-hour infant management strategy is designed to help parents connect with the needs of their baby and help baby connect with everyone in the family. So it's not all about baby. I know it's hard to not all be about baby when baby comes into the world, but it's about baby and the entire family, including mom, including dad, the health of everyone, the welfare of everyone. And so there, it's not just for baby, it's for you, for dad, for everyone in the family. I hope this helped you. If you have any questions, again, you can leave them down below. Follow me on Instagram. Thank you for you guys who are following me and asking me questions over there. It's much easier to get to quicker when it's on Instagram or Facebook. So yeah, that's about it, and I will see you next week for chapter 6, which is, what's chapter 6? Wake times and naps. Excited to get into that. All right, bye you guys, have a good week.